my plan for this morning was to put valve seals in this Chevy 283 engine, and for probably 10 years, maybe more, I've had a little spring compressor tool that you use to compress the springs on a set of valves so that you can get the pins out of the end of the valves. And now that I'm ready to use it, I can't find it, which is odd because I had it in my hand just fairly recently, and I remember thinking, hey, I'm gonna need to use this in a few days, and of course a few days have passed. I'm ready to use it, can't find it, been looking for it, spent a long time last night out here, and decided, heck. So I went on YouTube. I thought, well, what else can I use to get those out? And I saw a guy take a tool like this. This is a prize bar that you use to, prize up boards and stuff. And he drilled a hole in it right down here so that the hole would go about right there, and this would slide down onto that shaft. And then on this part in the front out here, he took and with a grinder he ground away metal on either side of this, sort of like something about like this. So he ground away that part. He put a hole in this part, and then once this was down on here, he pulled it like this, and it compressed that spring, and then he was able to get these keeper pins out. There's two pins, two little round keeper pins in this valve, and when you compress this spring, you can get those pins out, and the spring comes off. Now, if there's nothing to hold this valve up, it will fall down into the cylinder, which is not something that you want to have happen. I'll flip this head over, which is easier said than done. So that you can see. This is the valve, and this is what it looks like here. So what I do, or what I've been led to believe can be done and seen people do it, is they rotate the engine until these two valves are at their top position, and then they put an air chuck into the spark plug hole, and they put air in it, and the air holds these valves closed, and that way you can compress this spring, take out these two pins, take the spring off, and then replace the seal that's inside underneath that spring that goes around that valve. So first thing I'm going to do today is make a hole. I might grind this first. I'm going to grind out an area about the size of what I've marked with chalk here. Cut that away. Then I'll come back and position my hole, I'll drill that, and then I'll pull the valve covers. I'll go through the process, get the valves, get the piston to the top and the two valves closed, put some air in number 6 cylinder, and I'll pop those two springs off and put new seals in those. So I've got some grinding to do. Let me get to it. Now this should, if I'm taking out too much, boy, I almost did, didn't I? Almost took out too much. I might need to, I'm placing it the wrong way. I might need to weld a couple little small patches back in there. I didn't mean to take it out so much. I think that'll still work though, as long as I make my hole in about the right place. I'm going to use my drill press here to drill that out. Now the thing with drilling a hole is you want to start with a small hole, work your way up when you're drilling a big hole.
try to drill a big hole all in one fell swoop. It's not going to be a pleasant experience, but sometimes you can drill a small hole. Now the problem with drilling a hole anywhere is you don't want to break your bit. This drill bit is made of heavier, stronger steel most of the time than what you're drilling. And if you break it off, and you try to drill that out, it's going to be some really hardened steel. It is not going to be easy to drill through, if not completely impossible. This might be a little bit of a hard place to start a hole, the angle that it's going to have to be at. So I'm going to give me a little punch. I'll punch that to get me started. That's some pretty hard metal right there. Obviously, it would have to be to do what it does, you know. That's hard to drill. That's some hard metal right there. I think I might either try to find me a different bed or try sharpening this one before I mess it up. I'll turn y'all off while I do that. Let's try this one. So, I broke this bit, but I didn't break it off down in the hole, which is really good. Otherwise, that could be very difficult. It broke off up inside of the thing there. Just out without breaking. That would be the tricky part, wouldn't it? Oh joy. Sometimes the things you think are going to be the easiest are not. I don't think I'm going to put this bit back in and try to use it, because if it's that cheap, I don't want to take a chance on it breaking again. So I'll go get another one. Got one through, finally. Okay, so now I need a hole a little bigger than that. All right, next size bigger. had to redo the belt on my drill press, and that seemed to have helped. So the belt got pretty tired. See how big my hole is and how much more I think I got to go here. Okay, I'm getting there, closer, closer. Go about one more size. This is turning too fast a little. I've changed the belt to a different pulley up top, but it's speeded this up more than it needs to be. But I don't want to work on it today. I just want to get this over with. But I think I am going to need to spend the day sharpening bits and put a new belt on my thing here. I think that's in the works. This belt is so fast it overheats the bit pretty quickly. Okay, I've got this thing finished. And what I had to do was to work around this edge so that it didn't catch on the edge of here. I also had to work on this hole so this thing would go back and forth without actually sticking on the sides of the hole. And so from where it is now, and I may not be able to do this without an extra hand to hold the head from moving, but you can see that I'm compressing that spring. Maybe if I sit here and raise the camera and put my other hand over here to hold the head, maybe you can see what I'm doing. See, that mashes that down a goodly bit. Enough, I think, to get the keeper off of it, and that's what we want. So now it's a matter of doing those seals on the rat rod. So I'll change focus and move to a new direction, and we'll start with that.